Hello everyone. In this playlist, we're going to learn all the maths, high school maths we need to learn programming. Okay, so we know math is really important for practicing programming, right? Without math, we can't solve any problem. So we will focus on math first. Okay, so we will start from the very beginning. We will use ChatGPT, and sometimes we will use our board, okay, whiteboard, if I need to write anything, and I will try to explain everything with example in real life examples. Okay, so there are so many playlists in YouTube who are teaching math, okay, solving problems and this kind of things, solving equations. And so i don't uh, I didn't get that much channels, that many channels who are teaching real life applications. Okay, so I will try to focus on uh, real life applications. I will give you so many examples. Okay, so before diving to any topic, I will try to give you an example first. Okay, and then I will try to relate the things with our programming. Okay, so let's start then. Okay, so we will start from number. Okay, so real number. So what are real numbers? We always encounter real numbers like uh, one pen, two bananas, and two and a half mangoes, this kind of thing. Okay, so we can't pass even a day, a single moment without thinking of numbers. Okay, so uh, in our screen you see natural numbers. Okay, so I saw many students who are really confused about numbers because there are so many classifications: natural number, whole number, integer, negative number, positive number, this kind of thing. So I will try to explain you really uh, nicely. Okay, so try to just think about them. Okay, so when you say natural number, it starts from 1, 2, 3 to infinity, positive infinity. Okay, so how uh, I mean, how do you know which numbers are natural? Okay, so it starts from 1. So where we get this kind of numbers? Okay, so when you count books, like one book, two books, okay, and people, so we encounter natural numbers. Okay, when counting how many items you have, such as I have 5 apples, so you can say it's a natural number. So what's a whole number then? Natural numbers are whole numbers. Okay, so only difference is whole number includes 0. Okay, so you can say number of children in a family. There might be no children in the family, so there is 0 children, right? So this is whole number. Whole number includes 0. 0 is a number. Okay, so zero doesn't mean there is nothing. You understand? Number of children in a family or objects in a room, there might be no object, there is nothing in a room. Okay, including 0. Okay, in life, the number of floors in a building where there might be a ground floor. Okay, so if there's a ground floor, so we count from 0, right? uh, Integer, what is integer? Integer includes negative numbers as well, negative numbers, 0, and positive numbers. So how we encounter integers? Okay, so if you say you have $200, okay, so you can say you have positive 200, okay, plus $200. But if you owe someone $200, okay, so you can say you have minus 200. Okay, so this is why integers, I mean negative numbers, were introduced. Okay, so temperatures readings like minus 10 degrees Celsius or 20 degrees Celsius. In bank account balance, okay, being in debt means negative balance, such as minus $200. Okay, whatever I said just. So and what is fractional numbers? Fractional numbers, like when you divide something. Okay, like if you slice a mango, so you can make so many slices, right? If you divide 5 mangoes between two boys, so they will get 2.5 each. So 2.5 is a fractional number. Okay, so when you divide a concrete thing, you can get uh, fractional numbers. If I break this pen, I will get two parts. Okay, so half and half, these are fractional numbers. We have to understand two more things: rational numbers and irrational numbers, right? So what is a rational number actually? Okay, so if you divide any number by another number, okay, so if you divide like 4 divided by 2, so this result is a rational number. Okay, so if you divide 8 by 3, we will get something, it is a rational number. Understand? So whatever we divide, whenever we divide something with another number, we get rational number. So what is irrational number then? Okay, so there are some numbers which we can't get dividing some other numbers. You understand? So I'm not sure if you see the board. Okay, so let's don't get there. Okay, so so from our common sense, we always think the rational numbers are everywhere. Okay, so we just encounter rational numbers all the time. So how do you understand which one is just irrational number, right? Okay, so if you ask ChatGPT, we get this answer: a rational number can be written in the form p by q. I mean, uh, where p and q's are integers. Okay, so when you divide any number with another integer number, so this one prerequisite is that you the number below q can't be zero. You can't divide any number with zero. Okay, so that's the condition. Every integer is a rational number because it can be written as a fraction where the denominator is 1. So you, you can divide every integer like 5 divided by 2, 5 divided by 1, 21 divided by uh, you can say 7, like this. Okay, so irrational numbers cannot be written in the form p by q where both p and q are integers and q not equal to 0. Okay, example, where do you get this kind of thing? Okay, square roots of non-perfect squares. The square root of numbers like 2, 3 or 5 are irrational. Okay, so if you make square root of 2 in your calculator, then you will see this kind of thing: 1.414213, and this will just go on and go on. Okay, Euler's numbers, golden ratio, these are the thing of irrational numbers. We will understand this kind of things later, and why these are used. Okay, so uh, for th- for for the time being, we just need to understand what is square root, or non-perfect squares or perfect squares. Okay, so if you take 16, then we can get 4 multiplied by 4 is equal to 16. If you take 4, we can get 2 multiplied by 2 equals to 4. So this kind of numbers are perfect squares, like 4, 16, then 25. 5 multiplied by 5 is equal to 25, then 36, 49, 64. Yeah, so these numbers are perfect squares. Okay, so perfect squares are not irrational numbers. Irrational numbers are the numbers, if you square them, they will give you non-perfect square. Okay, uh, like root 2, root 3, root 5. So this kind of numbers are uh, irrational numbers. Okay, so these rational numbers, irrational numbers, fractional numbers, everything, negative, positive, zero, everything is real number, right? So I hope everything is clear to you and you understood where we need them. and their use in real life. Okay. Okay, in my screen you see a program. Okay, so what does this program do? This program uh, add two numbers, subtract two numbers, multiply two numbers. Okay, so I will try to discuss the whole program. So in the first line, include hashtag include studio dot h. So what does this line mean? This is a header file, and there are some functions, inbuilt functions. The people who created C, they wrote some functions, and these functions help us to directly do many tasks, right? So we need this. For the time being, you just set in your mind that we need this. Okay, then we have a function int. Int means integer. So whatever the function, whatever is written in the inside of this function, uh, at the end it will return an integer value like 1 2 3 4. I mean integer, right? A concrete number. Okay, so inside of this function we got two variables, float. So what is float? Float gives you uh, a fractional number. Okay, so a digit with two decimal points. I mean uh, there will be two digits after decimal point. Okay, so in our case, in this case, okay, so float can have many other digits as well after decimal point, but in our case we will get two digits only. Here is a line printf. So this printf uh, came from this header file. Okay, so if this header file was not there, we couldn't print the line. Okay, so something is written in this header file, and when you call this function printf function, then this header file comes into picture, right? So this header file helps us to print this line. Okay, then this scanf is for taking input from the user. When you run this, you see, enter two real numbers, then we will put two real numbers. Okay, so this scanf is taking input from us, and this percentage f and percentage f is format specifier. What kind of numbers it will be? It will be a floating number. Okay, floating number means not integer. It will give us uh, digits after decimal, right? So this ampersand is for taking address of number one and number two. Okay, so we are providing the address of these two numbers. Okay, so we are not going to discuss more details on it, but in future we will discuss. Okay, so we will put two numbers like a 4 uh, and maybe 8. Okay, so you see addition 4.00, because we are taking uh, two digits after decimal, right? Inside of this double quotation, whatever we write, uh, you see, we wrote addition and this format specifiers. This format specifier asks for the number one and number two. Okay, so uh, this format specifier is for the number one, and this format specifier is for the number two, and we have a plus. So this plus is this. Okay, so this 4.00 is printed because of this format specifier. Okay, if we don't put this one, then what we get, like if we put uh, percentage d, what we get, you see, 4 8. You see, there is something wrong with our uh, so that's how we subtract, multiply and divide two numbers, right? if number, check this condition, if number 2 not equals 0, because we can't divide any number by 0, right? If this number 2 not equals to 0, then we can divide them, and else division by 0 is not possible. So this is how the program works, right? So here we have got another program. What does this program do? Okay, so this program compares two numbers. We have two numbers here, and these are also floating number. Print, enter two real numbers, and then we will give input. If number 1 is greater than number 2, then number 1 is greater than number 2, then is greater than this. So we have given a format specifier here and here. So this number 1 will for the this number 1 will be printed for this one, because we put the number 1 first. So whatever you number, whatever you give the number 1, so number 1 is greater than number 2, that's how it will be printed. Else if number 1 is less than number 2, then it will print. So else there can be another scenario that both numbers are equal. So if we run this program, and if we put number 1 and number 2 like 4 and 4, both numbers are equal, you see. If we provide 6 and 8, 8 is greater than 6. Okay, so in this case, uh, this this condition was executed, right? If we provide 9 and 5, 9 is greater than 5. So in this case, the first one was executed.